All right, welcome to your personalized deep dive. You want the no-holds-barred, raw take on this new moon in Pisces coming up on February 28th, 2025.
And you want it straight from the source.
Lorenzo's Tarot and Astrology. No sugarcoating. Just
Brutally honest.
raw insights.
Exactly. Now, he's gotten a reputation for being, well, pretty accurate.
Life-changing.
He sees this new moon as a major turning point.
Like a cosmic reset for everyone.
So you're coming to us
The unfiltered truth, like no softening, no reinterpretation.
Just his words.
As they are, bold reflects.
An important one. We're here to deliver just that. Lorenzo's predictions.
Uncensored and complete. Okay, let's jump in.
Starting with...
Aries. Lorenzo says, Aries, wake up. This is not just another new moon.
He doesn't mess around.
No, he goes right in. This is the moment you either break free or stay stuck for another 6 months. You feel it, that nagging frustration, the sense that something is about to snap.
He's hitting on that feeling.
Right. The tension.
That urge for change.
And then he says, this is your warning, stop making excuses. You are at a crossroads, and if you don't act now, you'll regret it.
Real sense of urgency there.
I know, right? Okay, that is the brutal truth for Aries. He's like, this energy is calling you out on your own BS. You've been making decisions out of fear, telling yourself you're waiting for the right moment. That's a lie. The truth, you're scared of losing control. You're scared of failing. You're scared that if you take the leap, you might not land up your feet.
Wow, he's laying it all out.
Doesn't stop there. You're craving a breakthrough, but you refuse to change. You say you want something different, but your actions say otherwise. The universe is done waiting for you to wake up. Either move or get left behind.
Tough love.
And then, okay, he gets specific with Aries. Drop the dead weight. You are holding on to old friendships, outdated mindsets, and toxic routines that are keeping you small. Cut the cord?
Makes sense.
Then, say what needs to be said. You've been avoiding a tough conversation. You already know who this is about. Open your mouth and get it over with.
Sometimes you gotta do it.
And then, make the hard choice. There's a decision you've been putting off because it's uncomfortable. Face it head on.
Head on, okay.
Last one, stop blaming external factors. It's not your past, not your circumstances, not bad luck, it's you. The second you take responsibility, everything shifts.
It's about earning your power. Then he says, if you ignore this, here's what will happen. You'll feel stuck in the same place 6 months from now. Opportunities will pass you by. You'll see others thriving while you wonder why you're still stagnant. You'll regret not taking action sooner, and that regret will burn.
I felt that.
He doesn't want to see them suffer.
He's like, this new moon in Pisces is your last chance to break out before the universe stops handing you warnings and starts handing you consequences. You know what needs to be done, so do it.
Powerful stuff. All right, so...
Let's see what he says about Taurus during this new moon.
He tells them, Taurus, listen up. You're about to experience a massive energy shift that will force you out of your comfort zone, whether you like it or not. You're at a breaking point. You feel that deep inner knowing that something needs to change. But here's the thing. You can't just wait for it to happen. You have to make the move.
It's the same message about...
Taking action.
But with Taurus, it's about stepping outside of their comfort zone.
He continues, this is your reality check. Stop pretending everything is fine when it's not. You're standing at a crossroads, and if you don't act now, you'll look back 6 months from now wondering why you're still in the same place. This new moon doesn't come with an easy path. It comes with a hard truth. You either take control or you let circumstances control you.
It's like with Aries, he's saying take ownership. You have the power.
Exactly. And then it's the harsh truth for Taurus. He's like, you're stuck in a cycle, and you know it. You've been making safe choices, playing small, holding back, convincing yourself that stability is the goal. But let's be real. Are you actually happy? Or are you just comfortable in the familiar?
He's challenging them. Are you really happy, or are you just comfortable?
And then you've outgrown something major, and it's time to admit it. A situation, a friendship, a way of thinking, it's not serving you anymore, but you keep holding on to it because it's easier than facing the unknown.
It's true. Change to be scary.
But it's often necessary.
And then he says, you're clinging to old patterns that are draining you. You tell yourself you can't let go because of loyalty, history, or obligation. But deep down, you know it's just fear. Enough. The universe is done waiting for you to wake up. This energy is pushing you to jump the fence and break free from whatever has been keeping you stuck.
Love that image of jumping the fence.
It's a good one, right? Okay, now his specific action steps for Taurus. Stop making excuses. You have a decision to make. And deep down, You already know what it is. You're just scared to admit it. Admit it, then act.
Be honest with yourself.
And then, cut out the dead weight. You are investing time, energy, and emotions into something that is not giving back to you. Why? Because you're afraid of what happens when you let go?
Sometimes letting go is the hardest part.
Totally. Then face the uncomfortable truth. You've been ignoring a problem in your life, money, relationships, career, self-worth, thinking that if you avoid it long enough, it will resolve itself. It won't. Fix it now or it will get worse.
It's about taking action.
Instead of avoiding. His final piece of advice for Taurus: make a bold move. You've been waiting for a sign. This is it. Take action. Don't overthink it. Don't ask for permission. Don't wait for someone else to decide for you. Move.
It's about taking control of your destiny.
Okay, and as with Aries, Lorenzo presents potential consequences. If you ignore this, here's what will happen. You'll stay exactly where you are, frustrated and wondering why things aren't changing. Opportunities will slip away while you hesitate. You'll feel the weight of regret knowing you could have done something but chose not to.
You can feel that regret in his word.
Yeah, he's serious. Then he ends with, this is not a gentle, easy shift. This is a bold wake-up call. Taurus, you are being given a rare moment to break out of stagnation and claim something bigger. But if you keep waiting, the universe will not wait with you. Your move.
He's really laying down the law.
No kidding. Okay, so we've heard from Aries, Taurus. Let's see what he has to say to Gemini during this intense new moon.
Okay, so he addresses Gemini directly. Gemini, this is it. You are standing at the edge of something huge. But if you're not careful, you might sabotage your own success before it even happens. This is a wake-up call. You are about to face a massive breakthrough or a major breakdown, depending on how you handle what's coming.
It sounds like a pivotal moment for Gemini.
And he continues, you've been pushing forward, making moves, convincing yourself that everything is under control, but deep down, you know that's a lie.
Calling him out.
On their own.
BS, basically.
And then he gets to the heart of it. Your biggest obstacle right now is you. You are overthinking, second-guessing, and looking for external signs when the answer has been in front of you the whole time. Stop looking for validation. Make the damn decision.
I think that resonates with a lot of people.
It definitely does. It's a common challenge. And then he brings up something that might be uncomfortable for some Geminis to hear. Not everyone around you wants you to win. You love connections. You thrive on social energy. But let's be real. There's someone in your circle who is not on your side. You've been ignoring the red flags, making excuses, and hoping they'll change. They won't.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
But it's a necessary truth.
Then he moves into this idea of identity. You're facing an identity crisis. You say you want success, but are you actually ready for it? Are you willing to put in the work? Or are you still playing small, afraid of what happens when you finally step into your full power?
How many layers there?
I know, right? Okay, 4 specific actions he outlines for Gemini. First, drop the distractions. Not everyone deserves your time. Not every idea is worth pursuing. Cut the noise and focus on what actually matters.
Solid advice for anyone, really.
Yeah, for sure. Next, stop waiting for the right time. The perfect moment doesn't exist. You already know what needs to be done, so do it now. Waiting is just another way of avoiding.
It's about taking action.
Now, get real about your priorities. What are you chasing? Is it actually your dream, or are you following someone else's blueprint? If it's not aligned with who you truly are, it will collapse.
That's deep.
I know. Finally, make the hard decision. There's something in your life that needs to end. A situation, a mindset, a habit. You know exactly what it is. Rip the bandage off before the universe does it for you.
It's better to take control yourself, right?
Definitely. Okay, now those consequences for Gemini if they ignore this energy. If you ignore this, here's what will happen. You'll miss out on a golden opportunity because you were too busy doubting yourself. Someone else will take the position, the job, the opportunity that was meant for you. You'll look back 6 months from now and wonder why nothing changed.
The missed opportunity.
Ugh, yeah. Then he ends with, this is a pivotal moment, Gemini. The universe is putting a spotlight on you, but if you're not ready to claim your power, someone else will step in and take your place. You have one choice. Step up or step aside. What's it going to be?
It's all about making a choice.
All right, so we've heard from Aries, Taurus, and Gemini.
Now let's dive into Cancer's experience during this new moon.
And Lorenzo starts by saying, Cancer, enough is enough. You've been sitting in the same place, waiting for clarity, waiting for the right moment, waiting for the universe to show you a sign. That's over. This is it, the turning point you've been avoiding.
He doesn't waste any time.
No, he's like, get ready. Right. Okay, then he says, you're standing in front of a door. On the other side, a life-changing opportunity, a new path, a bold decision that will redefine your future. But here's the catch, the door won't open unless you push it.
I love that imagery.
That's powerful.
Right. It's about taking control, not just waiting for things to do, Ben. And then he says, if you don't take this chance, if you hesitate, if you let self-doubt win, you will stay exactly where you are. This new moon is about freedom, expansion, and breaking through your own mental walls. If you don't take control of your destiny, someone else will, and I promise you, they won't have your best interests at heart.
He's giving it to them straight.
Definitely. Okay, so the brutal truth for Cancer. Here it is. You've been making excuses. You keep telling yourself, I'm not ready, I don't have enough experience, I need more time. But guess what? Time is running out. The window of opportunity is small, and if you don't move now, you will miss it.
He's basically saying, stop procrastinating.
Right. And he goes on, your comfort zone is your prison. You say you want more, but you refuse to take the risks that come with it. You hold on to what's safe, even if it's suffocating you. This new moon is a cosmic intervention. It's forcing you to expand, to step into the unknown, to grow.
Comfort zones can be tricky.
They can feel safe, but they can also hold us back.
And then he says, you've been ignoring a harsh reality. There's a truth you don't want to face about your relationships, your career, your life path. You keep burying it, pretending it's not an issue, hoping it will go away. It won't. This energy is exposing everything you've been avoiding, and you have no choice but to deal with it. No more delays, no more someday. The time is now.
He's not letting them hide from the truth.
No, he's not. Okay, his action steps for Cancer. Take the leap. There's an opportunity right in front of you, but you're hesitating. Maybe it's because you're afraid of failure. Maybe it's because you don't trust yourself. Either way, that ends now. Stop thinking. Start acting.
Jump in, right.
Yes. Next, say what needs to be said. There's a conversation you've been avoiding. You're afraid of confrontation, afraid of hurting feelings, afraid of what happens when the truth is out. Too bad. Say it anyway. The truth needs to be spoken.
Honest communication is key.
Okay, next, cut the dead weight. Not everyone is meant to come with you on this next chapter. There's someone in your life who is holding you back. A friend, a mentor, a lover, a colleague, whoever it is, you already know. If you don't set boundaries, you will regret it.
Letting go can be hard, but sometimes it's necessary.
And then he says, stop playing small. You deserve more. You are capable of more. But you are settling. That stops today. If you don't claim your power, someone else will take it from you.
It's about owning your worth.
Okay, and here are those potential consequences. If you ignore this, here's what will happen. You will stay stuck in the same patterns, wondering why nothing ever changes. You will see other people take the opportunities you were too scared to grab. You will look back and regret, realizing you wasted time on things that didn't matter.
Regret is a powerful motivator.
For sure. And he ends with, this new moon is not gentle. It's a push, a shove, a final chance to break free. You have one choice. Step forward or stay behind. What's it going to be?
Intense.
Right. Okay, so we've heard from Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. Now let's see what Lorenzo has to say to Leo.
Okay, here we go. Lorenzo says, Leo, you're in a breaking point. You felt it building for months. The pressure, the unease, the feeling that something is about to shift in a way you can't control.
He's acknowledging that feeling of anticipation and maybe a little anxiety before a big change.
Like waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Exactly. Okay, now he says this is your moment of truth. You're being called to face what you've been avoiding, to confront what's been hidden in the shadows. The illusion of control is gone, and now you're left with one choice: let go or be dragged. Right, you either surrender to the change or you fight it. And then he poses this question. This new moon is not about surface-level changes. This is deep, life-altering transformation. A wake-up call so loud you can't ignore it. Something in your life is ending, whether you're ready for it or not. The question is, will you surrender to the change, or will you fight it until it destroys you?
He's really emphasizing the depths of this transformation for Leo.
For sure. Okay, now the brutal truth. You've outgrown something, but you're still clinging to it. You know, it's not working anymore, a relationship, a mindset, a way of life. It's been dead for a while, but instead of releasing it, you're still holding on, hoping it will magically fix itself. It won't.
It's about letting go.
Of what's no longer serving you. And then you're being confronted with a truth you didn't want to see. This could be about betrayal, loss, financial reality, or emotional baggage. Whatever it is, it's real, and it's time to deal with it. You can't run from it anymore.
Sometimes you have to face the hard things.
Absolutely. Then he says, something has to die for something new to be born. This is not a warning, it's a fact. If you resist this shift, you will suffer more than necessary. Let go now, or the universe will rip it away from you later.
It's like he's saying, won't make it harder on yourself.
Okay, so now his action steps for Leo. Stop lying to yourself. You know exactly what needs to change. You just don't want to admit it. Face it now, or watch your situation spiral out of control.
Honesty is key.
Then make peace with what's ending. Not everything is meant to last forever. Let go with dignity, or it will be taken from you painfully.
It's about accepting the natural cycles of life.
Now he says, protect your energy. Someone around you is not who they say they are. Pay attention. Not everyone clapping for you wants to see you win.
It's about being discerning about who you let into your life.
And finally, step into the unknown. The life you want is on the other side of this transformation. But if you keep resisting change, you will never get there.
He's encouraging them to embrace the unknown.
Then here come those consequences. If you ignore this, here's what will happen. You will keep repeating the same painful cycles. You will lose something valuable because you refuse to act in time. You will wake up months from now realizing you wasted this opportunity for change.
Regret is a powerful emotion.
For sure. And then Lorenzo ends with this. This is not a drill, Leo. This is your moment to rise from the ashes. Burn the past. Step into your power, your move.
He's calling them to step up and claim their power.
Okay, so we've heard what Lorenzo has to say to Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo.
Now it's time for Virgo. This is what he has in store for them during this powerful new moon.
He starts by saying, Virgo, let's not sugarcoat this. Your relationships are about to be put under a microscope, and not all of them are going to survive. This is a breaking point.
He's getting right to the point.
No time for small talk, right? And then you've been tolerating things, making excuses, keeping quiet just to keep the peace. But that's done. This energy will expose the truth about the people around you. Some connections are meant to evolve, others they need to end.
It's a time for honesty.
And truth. He goes on to ask, the real question is, are you willing to face what you already know? This new moon will show you who's real and who's just convenient. It will test who's in your life for the right reasons and who's just draining your energy.
It's about examining the quality of your connections.
And then he says, if you've been avoiding the tough conversations, pretending things are fine when they're not, get ready for the universe to force your hand.
So true. You can't hide from the truth forever.
Okay, now the brutal truth for Virgo. You've been settling. You know exactly where you're not being valued, but instead of walking away, you've been convincing yourself that things will get better. They won't. The cracks are already showing.
It's about recognizing your worth.
And not settling for less. And then he says, not everyone is on your side. Someone in your life isn't being fully honest, and deep down, you sense it. This could be in love, friendships, business, or family. Stop ignoring the signs.
Trust your gut.
Yeah. Then he talks about patterns. Your past patterns in relationships are catching up to you. If you've been repeating the same cycles, over-giving, over-explaining, staying too long in dead-end situations, this is your wake-up call. Either it breaks the cycle, or it will break you. This is not about waiting for others to change. It's about you deciding what he will and will not tolerate anymore.
You have the power to change the pattern.
Okay, now specific action steps for Virgo. Speak your truth loudly. You've been holding back, afraid of confrontation, afraid of what happens if you finally say what's been on your mind. Say it anyway. The people who matter will handle it. The ones who can't, let them go.
Honesty and authenticity.
Then walk away from what's no longer aligns with you. This includes people, commitments, and even outdated beliefs about what you shouldn't be doing. If it feels like a weight on your soul, it's dead weight. Drop it.
It's about decluttering your life.
Right? Clearing out what doesn't serve you anymore. Then he says, let the past die. You're not that same person anymore. Stop clinging to connections, habits, and situations that fit the old you. Evolve or stay stuck.
It's about embracing the present moment.
Okay, his last piece of advice for Virgo. Redefine your boundaries. You're either fully in control of your energy or letting others take advantage of it. If you don't set your limits, the universe will do it for you, and it won't be gentle.
Boundaries are essential.
All right, now those consequences for Virgo if they ignore this new moon energy. If you ignore this, here's what will happen. You will stay stuck in toxic dynamics, wasting energy on people who don't appreciate you. You will watch other people move forward while you remain trapped in the same old cycles. You will regret not making the hard choices now, because soon the decision will be made for you.
That's a tough reality to face.
Yeah, he's really driving home the point that inaction has consequences. And then he ends with, Virgo, this is a reset, but only if you're brave enough to take it. Some people and situations are meant to be left behind. If you resist this, you're only delaying the inevitable. Your choice. Take control or let someone else control you.
He's giving them a choice. Step into their power or let life happen to them.
Okay, so we've heard from Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. Let's see what Lorenzo has in store for Libra.
He starts by saying, Libra, this is a reality check you can't ignore. You've been running on autopilot, pouring energy into things that aren't giving back to you. You see the cracks forming in your daily life, your work, your relationships, but instead of facing them, you keep pushing forward like everything is fine. It's not fine, and deep down, you know it.
He's calling them out on their tendency to avoid problems.
Definitely. He continues. This new moon is here to expose the patterns that are exhausting you, the cycles that are keeping you stuck, and the ways you've been sabotaging yourself without even realizing it. Something in your routine, your commitments, or even your mindset is draining the life out of you. If you don't make a shift now, your body, your energy, and your motivation will crash hard. This is not a time for minor adjustments. This is a wake-up call.
It's a call to prioritize self-care.
And recognize those patterns that might be draining their energy.
And then it's time for the brutal truth for Libra. You are running yourself into the ground. You keep taking on more, saying yes to things that don't serve you, and ignoring the warning signs. Your exhaustion isn't random. It's a symptom of ignoring what needs to change.
It's about listening to your body.
When it's telling you to slow down. Then he says, something in your daily life is toxic. It could be your job, a one-sided relationship, a habit, or even the way you talk to yourself. Whatever it is, it's taking more than it's giving, and if you don't cut it out, it will only get worse.
It's time to do some detoxing.
And then you're prioritizing the wrong things. You've been giving your time and energy to obligations that are yours to carry. You feel the resentment growing, but you keep pushing through because you should. Who told you that? And why are you still listening? This new moon isn't subtle. It's a test. If you keep ignoring your own needs, don't be surprised when your body or life forces you to stop. Burnout is not a badge of honor.
It's a powerful message about setting boundaries.
And prioritizing your own well-being.
Okay, now his specific advice for Libra. Cut the energy leaks. Make a list who or what is draining you. Be brutally honest. Then start eliminating, limiting, or restructuring how you engage with those things. Not everything deserves your time.
Good advice.
It is. Then he says, set firmer boundaries. You're being used maybe by people, maybe by work, maybe by your own bad habits. Say no more often. Walk away when necessary. Stop apologizing for protecting your energy.
It's about taking back your power.
Exactly. And then he says, fix your daily routines. Your habits shape your reality. If your days are chaotic, exhausting, or uninspiring, it's time to redesign them. Stop running on fumes. Get intentional about how you spend your time.
Create a life you love.
Yes. And his final piece of advice for Libra. Listen to your body. Your stress, your exhaustion, your restlessness, they're all telling you something. Stop ignoring the signs. Your well-being is non-negotiable.
Self-care is essential.
Absolutely. Then, as always, those potential consequences. If you ignore this, here's what will happen. You will keep feeling drained, overworked, and resentful. Your body will force you to slow down, whether through exhaustion, illness, or burnout. You will waste energy on things that don't matter while neglecting the things that do.
Yeah, he's not sugarcoating it.
He ends his message for Libra with this. Libra, this is a moment of truth. You are being asked to prioritize yourself for once, not just in theory, but in action. If you don't, you'll stay stuck in a cycle that will only get harder to break. Your choice. Keep running on empty or take back your power.
Okay, so far we've heard Lorenzo's take on Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, and now Libra.
Let's see what he has in store for Scorpio during this new moon.
He begins with, Scorpio, this isn't just a shift, it's a revelation. You're about to be hit with a surge of energy that will demand you start living fully, unapologetically, and without fear. This is your moment to break free.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, it's like he's giving them permission to really go for it. And then he says, you've been suppressing parts of yourself, holding back your desires, and living half-truths out of fear of judgment, failure, or disappointment. That ends now. This new moon is not here to be soft or subtle. It's here to awaken something wild inside you. Your passion, your creative power, your hunger for joy.
I love that imagery.
Right, awakening something wild inside you. And then he asks these questions. You are meant to be seen, to be felt, to be alive. But are you actually living? Or are you just surviving? This energy is your chance to step into something bold, real, and wildly fulfilling. But only if you're ready to stop dimming your own light.
He's calling them to step into their full potential.
And to really shine.
Now for the brutal truth, Scorpio. You've been playing small. You tell yourself you're waiting for the right moment, the perfect opportunity, but let's be real. You're afraid of taking up space, of being fully seen. Stop hiding. You were meant to be the main character.
He's not letting them off easy.
Nope. And then he says, your happiness has taken a back seat. You've been so focused on responsibilities, on what's practical, that you've forgotten what lights you up. The fire is still there. You just need to reclaim it.
It's a reminder to prioritize joy.
And finally, you've been carrying emotional weight that isn't yours. You hold on to guilt, resentment, obligations that don't belong to you. Let them go. You don't owe the past anything.
It's about releasing baggage.
Exactly. And he says, this new moon is about breaking the chains you put on yourself. You are more than your trauma, more than your fears, more than the versions of yourself that you outgrew long ago. If you don't reclaim your joy now, you'll keep wasting time in a life that feels too small for you.
It's a powerful message of empowerment.
Okay, now for the action steps. Follow what excites you. If it makes your heart race, if it wakes something up inside you, do it. No hesitations, no excuses.
Trust your intuition.
Yes. Next, express yourself fully. You've been filtering yourself to be more acceptable and more digestible for others. Screw that. Say what you mean. Be who you are. Loudly.
Be authentically you.
Let go of obligations that suffocate you. You are not responsible for holding everything together for everyone else. Your job is to live, period.
It's about setting boundaries.
And his final piece of advice for Scorpio, take risks with your heart. Stop guarding yourself against disappointment. You're not here to half love, half dream, half exist. Open up, jump in, live fully or not at all.
Embrace vulnerability.
Now, the consequences of ignoring this energy. He says, if you ignore this, here's what will happen. You will keep living a life that feels like a cage. You will watch others take the risks you were too scared to take and regret it. You will keep wondering, what if, instead of making things happen.
That's a powerful image, a life that feels like a cage.
And then he concludes with this, Scorpio, this is your moment to break free. If you keep waiting, keep hesitating, you will miss the chance to feel truly alive. Your choice. Stay stuck in fear or step into your power.
All right, we've now heard Lorenzo's take on Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. So next
We have Sagittarius.
Yes, let's see what this new moon holds for them.
Okay, Lorenzo says, Sagittarius, this is not a surface level shift. This is a complete reset of what you call home, security, and your sense of belonging. It's time to be brutally honest with yourself.
He's not pulling any punches.
Nope. He continues, you've been carrying emotional baggage from the past, trying to outrun it, pretending it doesn't affect you. But the truth, it's shaping everything, your choices, your relationships, your sense of stability.
It's amazing how often we try to outrun the past.
Only to find it's still right there with us.
Exactly. Then Lorenzo asks, where do you actually feel safe? Who do you actually trust? Are you building a life that feels like home or just settling into a place that's comfortable?
He's going deep.
Right. Making them question everything. Okay, then he says, this is your breaking point. Keep ignoring what's wrong and you'll feel even more lost. Face it, and you will rebuild your life stronger than ever.
It's about facing the truth.
No matter how uncomfortable it is, now it's time for the brutal truth for Sagittarius. You've been running from emotions you need to face. You think you've moved on. But if that were true, why does the past still have a hold on you? Stop avoiding it. Heal it.
He's not letting them get away with pretending it doesn't affect them.
And then he says, you're craving freedom, but you feel trapped. You tell yourself you're independent, but there's something keeping you stuck in a situation. A toxic connection. A fear of what happens if you leave. This new moon will force you to deal with it.
He's pushing them to examine what's truly holding them back.
Yeah. Okay, last point of the brutal truth. Your foundation is unstable. Whether it's your home life, your emotional security, or your financial situation, something is built on shaky ground. You can fix it now or wait for it to collapse. This is your moment to choose. Stay trapped in old cycles or finally create the stability you need to thrive.
That's a powerful image.
Right. A shaky foundation.
And it's about creating a sense of stability.
Okay, let's hear his action steps for Sagittarius. Get real about your past. What unresolved issue is still controlling your present? You can't escape it. You have to face it.
Confront those past hurts.
And heal. Okay then. Set clear emotional boundaries. Who drains your energy? Who makes you feel unsafe, unstable, or uncertain? Cut them off or create distance. Protect yourself.
It's about protecting your energy.
Now he says, redefine what home means to you. If you're living in a place, a mindset, or a routine that doesn't feel right, change it. You don't have to stay where you don't belong.
It's about finding your tribe, your place.
And then his final piece of advice for Sagittarius, stop lying to yourself about what you need. You've been convincing yourself that something is good enough. It's not. Raise your standards. Demand more.
It's about recognizing your worth.
Okay, consequences time. If you ignore this, here's what will happen. You will keep repeating the same emotional cycles. Your instability will start affecting your relationships, finances, and well-being. You will feel even more disconnected, wondering why nothing feels right anymore.
He's painting a pretty clear picture of what's at stake.
Right, it's not pretty. Okay, then Lorenzo ends with, Sagittarius, this is a moment of truth. Either you build the foundation you need, or you watch everything you've been ignoring start to unravel. Your choice. Keep running, or finally face what needs to change.
Another powerful message about taking ownership.
Okay, so we've heard what Lorenzo has to say to Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius.
Let's see how this new moon in Pisces will affect Capricorn.
Lorenzo begins by saying, Capricorn, your mindset is about to be shattered, whether you're ready or not. You've been operating under old rules, outdated beliefs, and assumptions that are no longer true. You've convinced yourself that certain things are just the way they are. But what if you've been wrong?
It sounds like a major wake-up call for Capricorn.
A shift in perspective, for sure. And he continued, this new moon isn't about small realizations. It's about total mental rewiring. The way you communicate, the way you process information, and even the way you view yourself, everything is up for review. You're being forced to question what you think you know. You're about to see the truth behind the words, the reality behind the illusion.
It's about seeing things with fresh eyes.
And then Lorenzo asks, are you ready for that? Or are you going to cling to what's safe and comfortable, even if it's built on a lie? This is your chance to break free from mental blocks, toxic thought patterns, and limiting beliefs that have kept you in the same loop.
It's a challenge to let go of those old beliefs.
Okay, now for the brutal truth for Capricorn. You've been telling yourself the same story for too long. This is just the real life is. I have no other options. I don't have time for change. Stop. Those are excuses. You have way more control than you think. You've just been afraid to admit it.
He's calling them out on their limiting beliefs.
Exactly. And then your way of thinking is either making you or breaking you. The way you speak to yourself, the way you interpret situations, it's shaping your reality. If you're not happy with where you are, it's time to change your mental script.
Your thoughts create your reality.
Right. Okay, his final point. You're getting in your own way. Your stubbornness, your refusal to consider new perspectives, your fear of looking wrong or foolish, it's holding you back. If you don't open your mind, you will miss opportunities that could change your life. This new moon is your mental reset. Either you break the cycle or it will keep breaking you.
It's about letting go of the fear of being wrong.
And embracing new possibilities. Okay, action steps for Capricorn. Challenge your own beliefs. What truth have you been living by that no longer serves you? Who taught you that? Is it even real?
It's about questioning everything.
Then fix your communication. Are you really saying what you mean? Or are you holding back, sugarcoating, or avoiding hard conversations? Your words are shaping your reality. Use them wisely.
Communication is key.
Next, stop making decisions based on fear. You tell yourself you're being practical or realistic, but are you? Or are you just scared of what happens if you actually take a risk?
It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone.
Okay, last one. Open your mind to new perspectives. Stop being so rigid. Stop dismissing new information just because it challenges what you think you know. Growth means being willing to admit when you've been wrong.
Be open to new possibilities.
And then Lorenzo says, if you ignore this, here's what will happen. You will stay stuck in a repetitive loop, unable to see a way out. You will miss out on opportunities simply because you refuse to be open-minded. Your communication issues will continue creating misunderstandings, tension, and stagnation.
That's a recipe for unhappiness.
For sure. And he ends with this. Capricorn, this is your moment to reset your mental pattern. If you don't, you'll keep running into the same obstacles, wondering why nothing ever changes. Your choice. Keep repeating old patterns or finally break free.
It's all about making a choice.
Okay, we've heard Lorenzo's insights for Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Capricorn.
Let's see what awakes Aquarius during this new moon.
Aquarius, it's time to stop settling. You've been undervaluing yourself financially, emotionally, and energetically. You tell yourself you're fine, that you don't need much, that you can make do with what you have. But let's be brutally honest, that's a lie.
He's calling them out on their tendency to play small.
And settle for less than they deserve. And he continues, this new moon is here to shatter your scarcity mindset. You've been selling yourself short. You've been accepting less than what you deserve. You've been convincing yourself that playing small is the smart thing to do. It's not. It's fear disguised as logic.
It's about recognizing those limiting beliefs
that are holding them back.
And then he says this energy is forcing you to take a hard look at your finances, your resources, your confidence, and the way you demand or don't demand what you're worth. Are you ready to step into the abundance you actually deserve, or are you going to keep living on survival mode, afraid to ask for more?
It's a call to step into their worth.
Okay, need for the brutal truth for Aquarius. You've been conditioned to think that wanting more is selfish. You've absorbed limiting beliefs about money, success, and what's realistic. Guess what? Those beliefs are keeping you broke financially, emotionally, and spiritually.
He's really challenging their beliefs about abundance.
Then he says, your confidence has taken a hit. Somewhere along the way, you stopped advocating for yourself. You let others decide your worth, your value, your paycheck. That stops now.
It's about reclaiming your power.
Absolutely. And his final point in the brutal truth, your relationship with money is blocking your growth. You either fear not having enough or you feel guilty for wanting more. This is a mindset trap. Wealth, whether in money, love, or energy, is not a dirty word. If you don't fix your self-worth, you will keep repeating the same financial and emotional cycles.
It's about recognizing that abundance is available to them.
If they're willing to shift their mindset. Okay, now for those action steps for Aquarius. He starts with, set new financial and energetic boundaries. Stop undercharging, overgiving, over-explaining, and settling. If they can't meet your standards, walk away.
It's about knowing your worth.
Next. Change how you speak about yourself and your finances. If you say, I'll never afford that, or I'm just not lucky with money, guess what? You're programming yourself to fail. Shift your mindset.
The power of language.
Then demand more in every area of life, whether it's a raise, a relationship, or respect. Stop waiting for permission to be valued. Take it.
Take what's yours.
Exactly. And finally, invest in yourself. This could mean learning a new skill, starting your own business, or even just refusing to let doubt keep you from taking action. You are your biggest asset. Act like it.
It's about prioritizing your growth.
And taking action towards your dreams, and then those potential consequences. If you ignore this, here's what will happen. You will keep living paycheck to paycheck financially, emotionally, or both. You will watch others claim opportunities you were too afraid to ask for. You will look back in 6 months and realize you're in the exact same place.
Regret and stagnation.
And he ends with this. Aquarius, this is your moment to step into your power. You are not meant to scrape by. You are meant to thrive. Your choice. Keep playing small or claim the abundance that's yours.
Okay, so we've heard Lorenzo's take on Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Aquarius.
Now it's time for Pisces.
Their very own new moon.
And Lorenzo's message for them is potent. He starts by saying, Pisces, this is the moment you've been waiting for. But are you actually ready for it? You're being handed a clean slate, a chance to reinvent yourself, redefine your identity, and finally step into who you were always meant to be.
That's a beautiful image.
A clean slate, a fresh start. And he continues. But here's the thing. You can't step into the future while still clinging to the past. This new moon will expose. Where you've been playing small, where you've been holding yourself back out of fear, where you've let other people define who you are, no more. This is your moment to break free. The question isn't whether you can change, it's whether you will.
It's all about making a choice.
To embrace the transformation.
Okay, now for the brutal truth for Pisces. Lorenzo says you've been waiting for a sign. But the sign is you. Stop searching outside yourself for permission. You already know what needs to happen. You just haven't had the guts to do it.
He's calling them to trust their inner voice.
To take action without needing external validation. And then he says, your old identity no longer fits. The version of you that played it safe, the version of you that stayed silent, that person is gone. If you try to hold on to them, you will feel more lost than ever.
It's about letting go of old versions of ourselves.
That no longer serve us. Okay, last point. You're standing at a crossroads. One path leads to bold self-expression, unapologetic confidence, and stepping into your true power. The other, more of the same. More doubt, more hesitation, more wasted time. You don't get to stay in between anymore. The universe is making you choose.
He's not giving them a choice.
To stay stuck. Now the action steps. Stop waiting for validation. You don't need approval to be who you are. You don't need permission to take up space, act like you belong. Because you do.
Own it.
Yeah. And he says, step into your power loudly. No more hiding, no more playing small. If you don't take control of your own narrative, someone else will.
It's about taking ownership.
Then Lorenzo says, let go of outdated attachments. If a relationship, job, or belief is suffocating you, it's done. Stop pretending it can be fixed. It's time to walk away.
It's about releasing what's no longer serving you.
And finally, commit to a new version of yourself. Not in theory, not someday, now. What does that version of you look like? Start acting like them today.
take action.
Okay, and what happens if you don't? Lorenzo says, if you ignore this, here's what will happen. You will keep feeling stuck, waiting for the right time that never comes. You will keep attracting situations that mirror your old insecurities. You will watch others take the risks you are too afraid to take and regret it.
Yeah, that regret can be a heavy burden.
And then his final words for Pisces. Pisces, this is your chance to finally claim your power. If you don't, expect more frustration, more doubt, and more missed opportunities. Your choice. Step into your future or stay lost in the past.
A powerful ending to a powerful series of messages.
We have now delivered Lorenzo's raw and unfiltered predictions, just as you requested. No softening, summarizing, or reinterpretation. You wanted his words.
Exactly as they are.
And that's what we've provided. Lorenzo's style, as we've seen.
Can be pretty intense.
Definitely. Not everyone's cup of tea. But I think what's important is that he
Really believes in our potential to
create the life we desire.
And he's not afraid to challenge us to step into that power.
For sure. So this concludes our deep dive into Lorenzo's world and his unique perspective on this new moon in Pisces. Remember, astrology is just a tool. It's up to each of us to take what resonates.
And leave the rest.
Exactly. Create your own path. Thanks for joining us for this wild ride through the Zodiac.